The podcast mobile.
The podcast mobile.
Do you wanna start it off?
It's your bus, mate.
It's my bus.
You can.
How do we say it? Do we say like do we call it a bus? Normalising life on the go, on tour. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to Normalising Life podcast on tour
On the bus.
on the bus. This is a weird one. If you're not watching on YouTube, you should just change to YouTube right now because we're in my bus that I bought yesterday, and we've set it up. It just worked perfectly.
I know everything's just gone. Everything's gone to not everything's gone to plan with the bus, but we get onto that. But
We'll get on to that.
everything's gone to plan with the podcast. Like, look at perfect little self-installed mic holders.
Smashed the window.
Yeah, I know. I have not had a good time with glass this week, but again
We'll touch on that as well.
we'll talk about that a little bit as well. But yes, the first in-person episode of
Episode 22.
Episode 20.
22.
22, yeah. So it's been the first 20 episodes. It's been an emotional journey, mate.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd make it a few times. There was a bit where you were really busy and there was a shitload of shit going on. It's like, this is the end.
This is the end.
We're not going any further.
Remember there was a moment, I think it was like that. It's like 90%, 95% of podcasts don't make it to episode 10. So
Yeah.
we've doubled the 95.
I wonder what percentage don't make it to 20.
To make it 20, I don't know.
8, 7.
I wonder what percentage don't make it to 100. We'll have to make sure we're in that category there.
Yeah, exactly. But what's been going on?
Well, we haven't. This is the first time we've actually met in person since Bali, like
Was that
a year and a half ago. So
yeah, a year and 6 months since we actually met each other.
yeah, so
It's weird though, because whenever we seen each other, it was just like, right? It wasn't
yeah.
like, because we talk to each other every week, so there's no difference.
Yeah.
Like,
So
but
pretty
it's
much daily we talk at the minute.
more like
Yeah.
real.
This is person. I made him up. He's not in my imagination.
Yeah, and after 5 minutes, fuck, it's only Adam.
No, the novelty of that wore off pretty quickly.
Yeah. But last night, so I picked up the bus, so it was a bit of a journey. So obviously COVID going on and travelling, it was a lot easier. Like a few months ago, I've travelled back a few times, and this time just apparently all the rules just came into, like they just made up rules. So you need to have about 3 forms to come through the airport. I needed the PCR test to fly. You needed a form. What's it called? Self-declaration form for coming into the UK. You need a self-declaration form for leaving Italy, and then you needed another form. I can't remember, but I didn't have it. And then I got the check-in, and I gave him forms in, and she was like, "You need this one." I was like, "What do you mean you didn't? I didn't know this." And he's like, "Yeah, you need this." And I was like, "Well, can I do it on the plane?" And she was like, "No, I need it before I board." And I was like, one of the last ones, because I don't like queuing up to go into the plane straight away. I like wait until the last. But it was a rookie error this time, because this form, I've never filled out a form fast in my life, like this fast. I probably got half the things wrong, but it was like a self-declaration thing, and I was just fucking putting any information. And then at the end, she was like, "Oh, you can't board with a hybrid, like a cloth mask on. You need to have a paper one." I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Like, you can't just let me get on for a mask." So I had to go around the airport asking for a paper mask off someone so I could get on the flight. And then eventually, sweat patches the size of China, like it was seeping down to like my waistband, the sweat patches. And then I got onto the plane and I had a full row to myself. So like, fuck, let these dry out. Just held me arm up for the whole trip. And then when I landed, it was a relief over, and then picked up the wagon. But it was also trouble with that, because I got to the place and there was a guy and he didn't turn up for 2.5 hours, and I had no car. I got an Uber that he said was 20 minutes away. It ended up like an hour. So it took like an hour to get this fucking dodgy industrial estate that I thought I was going to get raped. I genuinely thought I was going to get raped. And then the guy turned up with the car, and I was like, right, happy days, the car looks nice. And then I was like, I'm not going to give you any discount for pissing me about for 2.5 hours. And they were like, oh no. I was like, right, fair enough. Let's just try it. And then, because it was cheap enough anyway, but then he took me down to this here office. So it was like a really sketchy office. Went in, and then went downstairs like a dungeon, right? And then he just sat down at this desk. It was just like a fucking, I can't even explain it. It was a wee dungeon with a computer in it. I say, right, this is weird. Sort of like, if he wants to kill me, he could kill me, and no one will ever know. And he offered me water. It was like a load of bottles of water underneath the table. He's sitting there like weird. I was like, yeah, okay. I took a walk because I was thirsty. He was sitting there for 2.5 hours, and I started drinking it. I was drinking away at it, and then again he was like, "Help yourself with some water." And then he said it because he said it twice, and I was like, has he fucking done, has he done something to this? And as soon as he said that, like, I started getting like waves in my head, thinking I was getting spiked or something. Like I was going to die, and then I thought, like, what's my options here? If he starts, like, what can I grab as a weapon? I was looking around and I seen a printer, and I seen like a load of bottles of water. He was a really fat guy. Like, I could have took him, but when I was medicated, I probably wouldn't have took him. Like, I probably could, like, get in a lot of trouble. And I was thinking, the more I thought about it, it's like, why would he be filling out a form in DVLA and then kill me? Like,
it's weird where
he's transferring tax over to me, and then he's got to kill me. There's nothing in it for him whatsoever.
The weird way your mind goes.
He might get my Louis Vuitton bag that was sitting there, but like, he also has a car out there worth like thousands of pounds. So the more I thought about it, he wasn't actually going to rape me.
Yeah, probably not.
But yeah, I got the car, drove it up, and it was all good until we left the fucking ignition on last night.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And we've had to jump start it every time we've stopped.
Yeah, so which is battery's not doing great.
Not great.
But I mean, the movability, movability of the seats and the way that we're just chilling out right now is definitely. It's just insane, isn't it? It's so good.
It's mad, and it's like a 2004 car, and it's so advanced for what it is. Like, there's buttons for everything. Like, there's a button in the front. Obviously, we can't touch it from here, but there's a button from front. And you flick all this, and then
I got that clip of us doing it before when we were setting up. I'll put the clip in of when we were doing it before.
It's so good, but yeah. It's a pretty eventful couple of days.
Yeah, apart from everything is in Chinese on the.
Oh yeah.
Because obviously like an imported car in it, so it's like
everything's in Japanese. Yeah. So the radio doesn't work because it's in Japanese, and the maps work, but we're in Japan.
Yeah.
So it's just a map of Japan. I mean, if you wanted to play role play or something, like it would work. Like, oh, Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious.
No, but yeah, I mean it's insane. I mean, if we there's a DVD player there, a little telly, and.
But I'm scared to put it on because the battery will go dead.
It's like, as we're filming this podcast now, the engine's actually running to try and charge the battery a bit.
Yeah, hopefully it does.
Hopefully it'll give it that little bit.
Your mum's watching us doing the podcast. She can't see though.
Can't see.
Black bay windows. Stick a finger up on it. But yeah, we're just sitting in his driveway. We're not even. We could have been somewhere scenic, but
nah. We need a power supply.
Oh yeah, we're not using the power supply in this either.
Yeah,
it would last like 2 minutes.
I know. That was just a short podcast.
But yeah, so when we came up here, we met up because we haven't seen each other in like a year and a half, and there was other people we met in Bali at the time.
Yeah.
We met up with them too. So there was one person, a guy called Lewis, but we all met up together in a bar. It was just so weird how we're all in the same place after like an hour and a year and a half.
Being on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, and I'm like dotted everywhere. He was like Lewis was traveling around New Zealand and all, and then I was in Italy, you were here, and like just 3 corners of the world, and all in the same place at once. It's pretty cool,
crazy,
like.
Isn't it? But it was good. It's good to reconnect, and then obviously like we went and trained today, and that was sick as well to actually get. You haven't been in a gym in?
I haven't been in a gym been in and out for the open, like, but I haven't been to a proper gym. Probably since Christmas it would be for me, since I was home. Before that it was like September. It's mad. Like, just seeing people in the gym is weird. Even socialising, like you're talking to people, like I think this is so surreal. Like, I'm fidgety. Like whenever I was out, like last night, like I was just like talking, but I was fidgeting all the time. I just felt like it was I don't know, nervous or something. Like, 'cause I haven't done it in so long. And then, so my whole plan was I was going to come back, and I was like, right, I might get a hotel. And he was like, no, you can sleep in the sofa in Alice's house, his girlfriend. So I was like, yeah, fair enough, save some money. And then we went out for drinks, and then after the bars closed at like 11, wasn't it? We went back to his girlfriend's house, who he shares with 3 other girls, and 2 other girls, sorry, and my bed ended up getting bombarded by a house party. Everyone came. Started out of nowhere. There was like every 2 seconds, there was a knock on the door, and then end up in this wee living room. There was like, we were like sardines. Yeah. And I was just looking at the sofa like,
it's my bed.
It's my bed.
Especially since
I was up from 5 o'clock in the morning traveling all day, and I was just like, I don't want to be here, Adam. He looked at me and he was like, I'm sorry.
I know. It's like,
I'm so sorry.
Really, like, so we then went from my girlfriend's house, drove to my house, and then just crashed there because
luckily I wasn't drinking because actually had a beer.
Yeah, one beer.
I feel bad for that. I was peer pressured into it as well. Well, I said it wasn't.
I was like anti-peer pressure, and you're like, if you don't want to drink, Rob, you don't have to drink. No.
And it wasn't even like I wanted to. Oh, what I did want to, because I was like just sitting there doing nothing, and I was like, fuck it, just give me a beer.
Yeah.
But one beer
one beer.
That's the
It's not-
floodgates open.
Yeah, it's a fucking. You had the one now, I broke it.
I know.
Well, that were like when I think that's one thing that we could probably touch on that about like peer pressure around drinking and whatnot. It's like if someone didn't want to drink, it's like when you said to me yesterday, it's like I had a few beers yesterday, but it were like if someone said to me like I don't want to drink, sweet, cool, fine.
Yeah.
It's not gonna you having one beer or not having a beer isn't gonna change my night.
It's to help them, the ones who are drinking. It's to make them feel less uncomfortable with me. It's weird how it makes people feel uncomfortable when people aren't drinking though.
Yeah.
Like it feels like are they going to harass them or something?
Yeah, I think it's to do with like levels of like you almost not drinking puts you on like a bit more of a I'm not drinking
pedestal.
Yeah.
It's like
and they
you're
don't
better
like
than me sort of thing.
You don't like it being up there, so try and put them. I don't know. Like, some people it doesn't. Some people just want like the situation it was and wants it to be social, don't they? We open the window.
Mine doesn't work. I was going to see if it. Must be the battery.
You only got on the power for one side, but yeah, I think with like people peer pressuring and that kind of thing, it's because it always it's just people need to not do it basically, because if someone's choice not to drink, and I think that it's really tough when, like you say, you don't feel forced because you've got your own stronger willpower with it, but
yeah.
people just when you keep going at them and keep going at them and keep going at them, it's like you're like fuck fine then, but
Yeah.
it's like if someone doesn't want to and they're making that very clear, then that's why I said like I was like opposite peer pressuring you yesterday. Like, if you don't want to drink, mate, don't have a drink. Like you don't need to.
I felt like I was in power. Like I could have said no, but I don't want to say no.
Yeah.
Weird. But
Yeah. Well, that's
I had a beer anyway.
yeah.
And I'm not gonna. I don't regret it. Like. But honestly, I was drinking non-alcoholic beers all night. Fair enough, it gave me a bit of heartburn, but I couldn't taste the difference. Like, and I was only thing I did feel a bit less confident not drinking, because you had like usually I would be on par with Lewis in terms of like banter and stuff, but I felt he was like
Yeah.
a bit more confident, like talking to other people. Like I get a bit nervous that way, but I think that was the only thing about not drinking that was hard, like not being able to be a bit more confident with people.
Yeah. Well,
Look shy, like when I like met the other people, like I was a bit shy.
There's a reason why it's called liquid courage, and it gives you a little bit of gives you that little bit of confidence.
But is that why people think you're boring if you're not drinking?
I don't know. I think some people do think I don't know. I think you're boring when you're not drinking, but I think that's just systemic society
Bullshit.
stuff that when you're trying to think about your health and whatnot, and you're trying to think about your training and wanting to because the main plans were going to be that Rob came here, we were going to
Get an early night and then.
yeah, we were going to train yesterday, but we couldn't because of the guy I messed you about, and then get a decently early night, and then we still had a class session today, like, but and we didn't let kind of the fact of that stop us, but it ended up being a lot later night than what we necessarily wanted, and not exactly ideal sleeping situation.
I mean, no. I was running on fumes, so I probably would have slept anywhere.
Yeah.
I was contemplating even leaving sleeping in the van. I'm gonna try something. So that's another thing I fucked up today. This morning when I woke up, I went to book the boat to go home, and there was one at 9:30 in the morning, one at 10:30. One at 10:30 in the morning, one at 10:30 at night. But obviously, I got them mixed up, and I booked the morning one, and I got a phone call saying, "Here, your boat's in like 20 minutes." I was like, "Oh, shit, I'm not gonna be there. Can I change it?" And they're like, "I only started. Don't know how." Like, right, okay. Fine. and then I phoned someone else later on the day and charged me extra, but then I don't have a cabin, so I'm getting a night boat. It was 8 hours from Liverpool to Belfast, 8 hours, and I can't fucking sleep. I have to sleep on like a seat in front of people.
I swear the flight that I did from England to Hong Kong was 8 hours.
Yeah, I know. You can fly to America, anywhere in America for 8 hours, and a boat from fucking Liverpool to Belfast takes the same. Wonder what it is, just people rowing.
So this is your seat.
6 people.
Yeah, you've got to do it, so this is your seat.
Yeah. But I think I'm going to be a wee, like, so you're not allowed, I asked them, like, can I sleep in the car if I park the car? I was like, no one's allowed in the deck whenever the boat's sailing. I was like, fuck. But I was thinking, if I just park and then just like snake into the back, close the blinds, no one's gonna know.
Yeah.
And I can just sleep in the back and say nothing. So think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Got a chance me on.
Yeah.
Get a wee movie on. Waste my battery.
Yeah.
And then whenever I go to start the car in Belfast.
Yeah. Fuck. It'll piss people off behind you that way. It's like coming off the boat the other side.
I mean, me will be.
I'm surprised.
Blanket just coming out, just butt naked, and the boxers say, "Hey, keep a noise down. I'm trying to sleep here." Everyone leaving the boat.
No, I was thinking that it's like, who is actually travelling? Like, who gets cabins now? Like, surely
It's probably lorry drivers and shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so, definitely. Anything over 8 hours, I'm pretty sure anyone will get a cabin, especially night, because 10:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning, it's like a no-brainer to sleep.
Yeah, it's like a perfect sleep time, isn't it?
I'm just gonna get those snacks and have a romantic night in myself.
Yeah, me and my bus.
Me and the bus. Get some snacks and lie down.
No, but it just when we went out yesterday and we met Lewis and like the 4 of us that were in Bali, and we ordered some food, didn't we?
Oh, fuck. I completely forgot. So I ordered.
This is brilliant. This is like.
So we got the menu and then we ordered stuff, and I was just like, it was all English food, and I was like, fuck, I had to get the most English food ever, and it was fish and chips, and I ordered fish and chips, and got a few. I got like a whole beer. They got beers and they got falafels, shit like that there. So I was eating it, and we were talking about like, what was the topic?
We were just talking about. I think it was certain food because I don't know about Lewis, but
oh yes, it was free. He was talking me free range, so he was wondering where he could get free range chicken because he feels bad about buying like mistreated chickens, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh mate, see, ever since that fucking Seaspiracy documentary, I haven't had fish. I hate fish. And then I just, as I was cutting into it, and then Adam looked at me and looked at my plate, and I was like, oh fuck! I didn't even know I was eating fish. And it was a fish supper.
It was like when we ordered the food, I heard him say that he were ordering fish and chips, and I was like, oh. After what we talked about on the podcast,
he didn't even say anything. No, he didn't even shake me.
I was just like, oh, it didn't last very long there, did it? And I just didn't really think anything
thought,
of it.
like, what's a typical English meal I haven't had in ages? Fish and chips, sweet. And then I didn't think anything of it. I forgot I didn't like fish, but I do. It's actually really nice. It's just that all dolphins die and shit.
Yeah. All the other stuff that goes along with it, but it was brilliant. Like you literally like. As you said, like, I'm just not going to eat fish anymore. You're cutting your fish, putting a mouthful of fish in. Yeah.
Look at that. It's like a fridge now. You can transport fish.
Liverpool to Belfast, shipping then.
But yeah, that's the story of last night. How a lot of things fucked up, but it was still a good night.
Yeah. I just felt really bad because I'm sorry, Rob, they're on your bed.
I know, and the only time that I'm like, the first night I was like, right, I'm not going to drink the whole time I'm home. Like it was my goal I was set to myself, like saying, right, I'm going to try to come home, see the boys, go out with them, and a night out and not drink. And then the first night you took me to a fucking house party. And I was like, cheers.
I didn't know that you weren't drinking until you literally showed up.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes before I got there, like, I've got some beers.
It feels weird whenever you're saying like, oh, wait, I'll go out for some beers. And I was like, I don't want to tell them.
Yeah.
I don't want to like ruin the mood.
No, it's like I couldn't care less. Like like it's for me it doesn't.
But then I do like going out for beers, like the social aspect. And I thought if I said,
but you can do that.
I don't want to drink. You would think, oh, let's not go to a bar then. But I want to go to a bar still. Like,
yeah. Well, that's fine, and like I understand that. That's why I said, oh, let's not go out.
Haven't got over the social aspect of it yet. Like, Trying to.
I think it's tough, but it's one of the things. It just takes a little bit of time with it, and I'm like massive props. I think I'm gonna work to do it myself eventually, and just.
To be fair, like if you like for today, like because I knew we were going to train today, so that's why the main reason like for not drinking. It's the productivity the next day.
Yeah.
So I think if there was a day, if say it was a weekend that I knew I wasn't doing anything, then fair enough, I'll have a drink or something. I'm not gonna like wreck my plans just for drink. I think that's the whole point of it, just the productivity side of it.
Yeah, well, I've said to myself that I'm never gonna drink again. Well, to the point, I'd say never, but I'm not in the foreseeable future. I'm not gonna drink again for the reason of just getting pissed.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm gonna have a few drinks because I enjoy the drinks, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like last night, it was good. It was sociable aspects, and having a few drinks were good. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to to have a drink or to get fucked up or pissed or whatever, because I know it just writes, it doesn't write you off for like
it's whenever
1 or 2 days
whenever
now.
the
It's
drugs
like
come out and all that.
yeah, it's like nope, time to go. See you later. Yeah.
It's just not good to be around. And we're at that age now as well, where it's like, is it really worth it?
No. Well, it'd have been like let's say that.
Like I'm at that age where I'd rather spend 25 quid on a Nando's than a buy a Coke.
Yeah.
It's definitely a better investment on my part.
No, definitely.
Like
Not
medium butterfly with peri chips. It definitely satisfies my taste buds better than a bag of what's
on
happened.
that as well. I had the imitation wrap. That was actually really nice. That.
What was in it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Just
what
grass.
It was.
Grass
But it
and
was like
Nando sauce.
it's like I think it's something like the this isn't there's that
Tofu
bit.
sauce, yeah?
Yeah, it's not tofu. I don't know what it was, but it tasted good, and it had similar texture to chicken as well. So it was a good imitation.
What is it though?
I don't know. I think it's seitan,
Seitan?
which is is it what I'm gonna
Is it like that? What do you call that?
wheat gluten.
What do you call that square stuff? It's like
Tempeh.
tempeh.
It might be
Is it
tempeh
similar?
or wheat gluten, something like that.
Tempeh was actually alright. I tried that before. She was eating it, and I was like, "Oh, can we nibble of that?"
Yeah.
Still shite, like it was just less shite. I just don't like. I just don't doesn't satisfy my taste buds as well. Like vegan food just doesn't. I like to taste things. And, like I just feel like they're not getting satisfied if I was eating vegan food. Falafel good though.
Falafel's good. Yeah, that wrap really
Falafel's just
solid.
chickpea. Is it chickpeas? No.
I fuck knows.
I think it is. It's just chickpeas, but like deep fried. They're big in Saudi. Whenever I was there, like they love falafels. Those are falafel bars. They like falafel
bars.
Falafel bars. You never heard of falafel? We have them in Belfast. You're bound to have falafel bars here, no?
We might do, but I've never been.
It's just like a falafel restaurant with just falafel.
Oh, no.
But I didn't know how much things you can do with falafel. There's a fucking lot of things you can do with falafel, mate. I didn't know. But yeah, fucking falafel inception.
I know. I didn't know that.
But,
I do like falafel, but the wrap that I had yesterday was salty as shit.
Ugh.
Anyway.
It's deep fried, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what's your favourite cuisine apart from grass?
Apart from grass. Maybe Mexican or Japanese, I think.
Japanese is good. Like
Yeah.
they do good cars as well. Have I told you?
They have the podcast party bus.
I forgot. Have you got any questions yet? Probably not. Instagram. No, I got one. There was from Daniel saying, "How was your non-alcoholic beer?" It was shit. It gave me heartburn. What was it? Bud Zero, I think it was called.
Bud Zero, yeah.
It was
Bud Light
shit.
Zero.
I had a beer Moretti Zero. Was phenomenal. It just tasted the exact same, and I like beer Moretti. It's a really good beer. You ever had it?
Yeah.
Fucking class.
Yeah,
It's probably my favourite beer. So the non-alcoholic ones are super like.
I think that's what I'm gonna do next time I fancy having a drink. I'm gonna get
You just
some
keep
of
it in the fridge and see, and like it just satisfies that. Like seeing a cold and a fucking really warm day, beer garden. Like, there's nothing better than an ice cold pint.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's like BrewDog.
it's just the taste.
I drink like IPAs and stuff now, and
They taste like flowers.
I just like kind of the. I don't know why. I just really like IPAs. I couldn't tell
It's a
you
big
why.
thing though. Like a load of people like them. I don't get it. Like
BrewDog have got a non-alcoholic IPA, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna get that one next time I fancy a beer and see.
I just don't like how they're stubbies. Like all non-alcoholic cans are stubbies.
Yeah.
Like as if you can get more. Like
I want a non-alcoholic pint,
it's
please.
like how to stand out. Like getting a non-alcoholic beer, trying to make it look normal.
Yeah.
Not a fucking stubby can. Like and then people are like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, I think there's like the Beck's Blue, that's normal size, isn't it, that bottle, and then there's the Copperberg ones that are non-alcoholic.
Yeah, I want to try that. It probably just tastes like Robinsons.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah. Literally like that.
Yeah. But yeah.
But like, I had some crazy shit happen to me this week with a glass table.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that.
Talking about more weird shit. So I was doing some work on a glass table in the space that we're using for an office at one of my other business partners' flat, and literally it must have been something to do with change in temperature or the heat, or I got told something about some like nickel, some kind of glass mixes at some point that got
Like contamination
with like nickel and something, and it reacts to being the change of temperature, and basically the table went from see-through glass to completely white and then just fell to the floor. So
it just didn't make sense. Whenever you show me a picture, I was like, something's bound to have hit it.
Yeah.
There's no way that just shattered.
Yeah.
But like you said,
it did. Like literally, there were me and another guy sat at the table. Just cut on my knee here. I know it looks small, but it just pissed blood. It just wouldn't stop bleeding for ages. But yeah, we just sat at the table. On my computer on the table. Well, there were 3 laptops on the table, and I think potentially the fan heat from that added to it. But the table just literally went white and fucking fell. Like my laptop went bouncing along the room. Fucking there's glass like marks and indents all over it. It's like really upset about that. And yeah, like one of the other guys' laptops literally went, because it was like the table itself was like the base, and then it
was like a floor, wasn't it?
Yeah, like pronged out.
Yeah.
And one of the laptops just went straight down the middle of the prong and just sat in the middle. But to be honest, that was probably what saved it a little bit, because it wasn't hitting all the glass on the floor, but it smashed, and because it's not like carpet or anything, it didn't just smash and
just like
stay in a boat. It was like an explosion. Like I was covered in like tiny shards of glass.
That's awful.
And
Are you wearing shoes?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no. So I was lucky that I didn't really cut my feet there that much, but it was, let's say, it hit the floor and it was like a grenade, went off of just glass everywhere, like through that, like through the room, through the hallway into the bathroom. We were finding glass in like everywhere. Like it took about 3.5 hours to clean.
I think you definitely got to claim. Like
I know. That's what I keep saying it, but John Lewis, where they bought it from. Apparently,
we'll find where he lives, John.
Yeah, find John.
Go find him.
And then yeah, it's like apparently it's like a $5,000 table as well. So.
That's what I said the other day. Like, whoever buys a $5,000 table, it deserves to have it exploded. Like, no one should spend $5,000.
What special features do you get in the table with $5,000? Well, it will explode randomly at some point.
But it keeps you thinking, because you don't know when it's going to explode. So it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
Could be any time. No, fuck, that's mad. Like how things just do that. Have you ever seen the videos of bridges? So, because I done like a BTEC and like materials and hardware, like they give an example of. So bridges, whenever there's a wind speed, if the wind speed matches the, I can't remember this term, I don't want to get it wrong and then people call me out, but it matches like the molecular structure of the material, and the wind speed makes the bridge move. But it can all like we'll pull up a video. Can you pull up? We'll pull up a video here and then we'll play it.
Yeah.
On the thing. But basically, it matches the molecular structure of the bridge, and the bridge completely like moves. Like metal can bend, like it's a piece of rubber, because it matches the vibrations. But bridge molecular. This is before they had the science to be able to counter it, but this is how they found out the science. So basically, so the whole thing just shakes because it loses all integrity and the strength. But
because of the wind.
Because of the wind, it matches the speed of the molecular structure of the material, and it just like it looks like rubber.
Yeah.
Even though that's solid metal.
That is crazy.
But then everything just like breaks in it, and it ends up falling apart. It's mad, isn't it? So now they have like different ways of like countering it. Of how it does it, but it just completely just goes like a wave.
That is crazy. That is.
But yeah, before they found out the science, but it's mad how like materials can do that. Like they had no idea like can do that.
Yeah. No, and like I just didn't understand. It was just like baffling. It was confusing. Like it just replay it in my head. It's like if you watch there's videos that you watch like glass shattering in slow motion, and it goes like completely like white because the cracks go through it, and it stops it from obviously being like transparent, and then it just
drops.
fell. But I think in my head, I replay it a lot slower than what actually happened, because like I do think there was a crack and then it was like a bang and then a bang.
Was there a bang?
Like
you had your headphones in, didn't you?
Yeah, so I there was 2 noises, so it were like the one where it all went white and then the one where it hit the floor.
Yeah.
So it were like almost like you can imagine it were like it did bang when it went white, and then it kind of like the
rained rained glass,
the glass rain kind of thing, and it was like it was crazy. But
that's all happened this week. Just your glass broke.
That's been it.
And then
really.
I came.
Is that right? Yeah. You're the highlight.
I had an awful week. Do you know like a week before you go on holiday or anywhere fun? That's the longest week of your life. I was so fucking. It was just felt like an eternity. And then you get to Friday, and I was just like, rubbing in everyone's faces. Like, you working tomorrow? I'm not. See, just like rubbing in everyone's
I'm
faces.
gonna stand and wait in London in a random
That's the
industrial
sort of
state.
guy I am. Just like rubbing in people's faces. But yeah, it's the slowest week I've ever had.
Yeah.
And then this is gonna be the fastest week probably. Getting home.
Yeah.
So I'll go home tomorrow. Tonight, sorry, I'll be home. No, I won't be home tomorrow morning because I'll be on that fucking 17-hour boat.
How far is it? How far is it from when you get off?
Oh, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
And it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, so I've got the full day.
Yeah. I mean, you might have to just push the bus.
Yeah. I'll just text
push it
someone,
off
meet
the
me off the
boat.
bus. Meet me off the boat, sorry, with your jump leads. How long are they? Get as long as you can find. A mile, if possible. Just walking down the road with jump leads.
No, that'll be fun.
But yeah, hopefully it makes it off it. I bought a fucking jump leader. Like that's technology to the most advanced. Like it's mad. So I bought a jump starter, but it's a battery pack. So it's the same battery pack you would get for your phone, but it has a jump starter with the cables on it, so you can jump start your car from a fucking what you call them things? Memory bank?
Battery power bank.
Power bank thing. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
If you told someone like 50 years ago there'd be a way to jump, well, you didn't have electric then. It was electric then, wasn't there?
There was electric then, yeah.
I'm being a spastic. But even if you said 50 years ago,
you're still tired, mate.
You can jump start your car with a fucking something the size of your phone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, if you said that 15 years ago that we'd be doing a podcast in a bus like this, I mean, a podcast wouldn't have even existed then. But
Someone spotted the hybrid slides. These are only samples.
Yeah.
Someone's going to spot them on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
But they're only samples. Don't get your hopes up. We still need to change some stuff. Yeah, it's a bit mad.
Yeah.
But what other things are like really advanced that you would never think of like 10 years ago? Here, what was it, Neuralink? Did you see the video of the fucking... So Neuralink, you know Neuralink?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if no one knows what Neuralink is, Elon Musk is making a chip that goes to the back of your head. I think he originally started it so people can move...
It's for like
legs that have been...
Yeah, it's for like paraplegics.
And so they can move their legs
people
again.
Have been
but he tested it on a chimp. So basically, he has a chimp in a seat, and he's playing this game. It's like a mouse, and he's moving the mouse to the box. So there's a box, and he moves the mouse and find the box, and then eventually they turn the mouse off, but he's still moving the mouse, but the mouse isn't working, and he's using his brain to move the mouse, and then eventually they change the game to, do you know that Pong game?
Yeah.
Where there's like
down.
there's like 2 bars either side and there's a ball in the middle. So he's playing Pong with his head, and he's unbelievable at it. This monkey is class at Pong, and so he's just playing with it. I just can't get my head around it. He's just literally controlling a game with his brain.
That's crazy.
But that's such an advancement in technology.
Well, it is, and if they actually can have that, that's going to be a thing now of where they can actually like help people that have got like being paralysed and stuff. That is going to be...
It's amazing. And it's going to be good. So he wants to have like technology that far, so he will be able to talk. You'll be able to talk to people. So me and you doing this podcast right now, like we could talk, but then we could also think to each other what we're going to say, and no one else will hear it. That's bonkers. But also it makes me think like, will they be able to hear your thoughts? Because many times in my head, if I meet someone, I'm like, you're an absolute cunt. Well, they know that I'm thinking they're a cunt because it would be really embarrassing. And then they could just say to you, it's like, you think I'm a cunt? I'm like, no. Fuck your side. I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say that.
You know what I mean? I
know you didn't say it. You thought
it could backfire. Like, how are you going to control thoughts? Because you always have those thoughts in your head. Like, I knew a friend who couldn't stand on balconies because he always has a feeling that he's going to just throw himself off it. Like, he's got something, like, apparently it's a form of vertigo. A lot of people have it, but if you stand on the edge of things, like, there's something in your head that says jump, and then it's the same as driving. Some people have a tendency to just like see a cliff, it's like, like what would happen if I went over this?
I never really knew it. My ex-girlfriend, she was like, do you know ever when you like driving on the motorway and she like, do you not ever get the feeling of like what it'd be like to just turn into the fucking
that's the vertigo part.
No, I don't.
It's mad. Do you ever get moments when you're driving and then you just like come out of a daydream and you've no idea where the fuck you've been for the past like 10 minutes on the last drive, like you've no idea where the roads were, you just like it's like a blank.
It's normally on like a route that, well, I do it on like routes, say that if I'm coming back from gym, because I do the route so much that it's like I'd lose, like I don't remember getting here.
Yeah.
But if I'm in like a new place, not really, but I have had that where it's.
Are you good at maps? If say, obviously I'm in Leeds for the first time, I could not get to Alice's house from here. Maybe after 3 times I could. But I'm usually not that bad. But are you good at that? Like, if you go somewhere once, could you go there again?
Yeah. We used to do it when me and Alice used to go out walking, and she'd just find it fascinating that she goes like, "Which way's north?" I just go like, "It's that way."
You do?
Yeah.
That's not normal.
And
that's not like even Bear Grylls don't know that shit.
No, I'm always right.
Nah.
Yeah. You come for something. No, it's not.
Right, where is it? Right,
north
that way?
Yeah.
You've pointed there before. Is she asking you in the same place? In the driveway before?
No, she hasn't.
Right, wait. Hey Siri, open the compass. I hope you're wrong here, I'd be so embarrassed.
I know, I'm wrong.
That way, dickhead. You're close, like?
No, well, yeah, it's just the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. It's always around that.
Yeah.
But
your whole plan's foiled.
Yeah, it's foiled. I'm shit.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me. Everything I say is a lie.
You couldn't even direct your finger up your bum. I've got a good sense of direction though, in terms of like Hell's is so bad.
Alice isn't great.
She can't tell. Like if we were going down the street, say if we're going from the house, we walk down the street and had to go down like maybe 2 side streets. She couldn't point in the direction of the house. That's so bad. Especially if you're somewhere by yourself and you're lost, like you're screwed if you don't have a normal sense of direction. Like it's definitely a big flaw if you don't have a good sense of direction.
Yeah. No, I think.
Especially in a foreign country, dangerous like.
No, yeah, that's what I think when we're in Bali, and is that maps.u or something? There's an app called like it's like off. There's like it's like offline maps.
Right.
It gives you like directions.
You can save maps on Google Maps. That's what I do. Like.
Yeah, that's what I think. Data. Yeah, that's same as similar to what that maps.u thing were, and yeah, that were a thing. It's a lifesaver that. But I once like I say, if it was me. Like we've driven back and forward like 2 or 3 times now. I think I'd be able to do that journey now.
Where,
like say, I know obviously I can now, but from here to Alice's.
Yeah. That's what I say. Like you've been there like loads of times.
Yeah, but like a couple of times, if I've done the route a couple of times, I'd be all right. But I have taken you like gone this way and then gone that way.
I hate taking wrong turns. And do you know what I hate doing as well? Right, say if
I've been a shit sat nav.
Say if we're at someone's house, right, and there's like 2 ways you can go. I don't like going back the same way as I come. So if I was doing like, say I was going to the shop and like it's a square, I wouldn't go one way around the square and then go back the same way. I would like I like to go around, like cover all the ground. I don't know, coming back on yourself. I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's weird.
That's a bit OCD. That.
Yeah. It's weird, like, but it's just one of the things.
No, there's the loop like that here, so you're gonna hit the fact that I've took you around the same loop.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I get it. Like my sense of direction has always been reasonably good, but.
Do you reckon both of our girlfriends are bad at it? Do you reckon it's like a male-female thing? If genetically they're bad at it?
I don't know.
There's a bit of feminists now that's thinking, how dare he?
Yeah, hunter-gatherer. Yeah, hunter-gatherer is kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Back in the Sapien times, whenever the men would be going out and hunting and stuff, like they need to have a good sense of direction.
Yeah, well, I think there's got to be something along the lines of that.
Yeah, for sure. Because like
it's more like natural instinct stuff.
A lot of women are very like their common sense is very like ditzy. I'd say I've met a lot more women who have like the common sense of a fucking shoe.
Put a trigger warning now. We're not saying anything in the means of like.
No, I'm past those days of trying to trigger people.
Yeah. We're not trying
just being friendly. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying all women are ditzy. No.
But no, there is definitely like. It's like you can't argue that there is certain like.
I'm really cold now. How about you? Apparently, air conditioning. It's illegal to not have air conditioning in Japanese cars because you would die without it.
No, I'm not surprised with the amount of. Well, to be honest, it's like if you're filtering outside air in them kind of places that.
Holy shit! It's freezing over here. It's like a fridge.
I know.
I love the sound of like turning off an extractor fan, like doing it off your cooker.
Right,
like if it's really noisy and then you turn off the extractor fan, like that feeling of just silence. Oh, yeah, it's unreal.
It is. It's like it's saying if you like even though. They probably won't be able to hear the engine humming, but it's like very there.
Oh, now you said it, then I can't fucking.
You can't hear it. Just got a little bit.
Yeah, just got a bit louder.
And then if you turned it off.
It's like some people's tics. Like, you ever notice like certain people do certain things? Like maybe have like a twitch or something, and you didn't notice it until one of your mates say, "Yo, have you noticed he does like a wee winky thing every time he says a certain word?" And you're like, you can't unsee it. It's annoying you after that.
No, yeah.
Do you have any like tics like that where you you do, apart from saying absolutely awesome?
No, I think that's it. And you'll see that I'll have replaced it with something else now, like
Absolutely sick
probably. But no, because I always have something like that. It used to be and I really hated that.
Yeah.
So whenever I'd want to fill some time,
Stop.
I'd say, yeah, I know that's what I'm starting to do
Pause.
now.
Yeah.
Like actually use silence to actually think about it, and it actually emphasise. Before I didn't like having the dead time.
But apparently that's really good for engaging people.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it makes people. You give them like almost a second to think.
Yeah.
So I did it a lot when I was first getting into Clubhouse. It was something that I did a lot. Was I'd say or I'd say something like, "Oh, thank you for sharing. That's absolutely awesome." And I'd use that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I brought it into I just started using it more into the podcast. And then as soon as you mentioned it, I stopped. And I've been using kind of other description words, but it's like is something that I do a lot as well.
I'm the worst for like.
Yeah.
But then the more I say it, the more I'm conscious of it. I don't like it. Yeah. And it's the worst thing because now the only thing we're thinking now is saying
don't say
really awesome. But I was thinking more like physical things you do.
No,
like little twitches and stuff.
I don't think so.
I like play with my lip, like my left side of my lip, inside of my mouth.
I've noticed that when we do our podcast, I do play with like my beard out a little bit. And, like I'm a bit fidgety like that, but I only do that when I'm on Zoom calls.
Yeah, because you're thinking.
Like Zoom calls or podcast. It's like, but I don't know. I always like
when I get nervous and my teeth chatter, like fuck, like to a point where like.
I think I do that when I'm cold, but
no, that's probably like bad. If I get nervous,
I do. I think there is some I yawn a lot when I'm nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, I've always kind of thought that it's because I'm nervous. I'm not getting a full breath in, and just because I'm not getting a full breath in, I eventually need to yawn.
See when people yawn, then makes you yawn.
Yeah,
that's a weird one.
That's a weird one. Yeah, because I used to think it was like this is very. It's almost funny that I used to believe this, but the fact that in your surrounding area you're breathing in more of the air, more of the oxygen, so the other people feel like they need to get more.
Nah.
From the, I know.
Nah. Not having that, Adam.
No, that's what I used to think.
Science.
Yeah, science, bitch. Yeah. But that's another one I did. Button. That's another.
Well, that's just like when you're in the sentence and you can't think of anything to say. You're like, but yeah, like just go on to the next thing because we haven't structured a podcast in weeks. Because usually, if we at a bottom situation, we'd be like, right, next section.
Yeah.
What's a bitter pill to swallow this week?
Yeah,
we haven't done a bitter pill to swallow because everything's a bitter pill to swallow nowadays.
Yeah, no, and the fact that we've been together, so what's been up with you this week? It's like we've already done this catch up bit.
Yeah, and even it was hard during being in lockdown. It's like, what's happened to you this week? And it's like, same thing that happened fucking last week. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, the planning of the podcast had to come a fair bit.
Sometimes you need to take a week off to be able to like have something to talk about because nothing was happening. Especially with me, like I was just literally working, training, eating, sleeping for 2 weeks.
Well, we were saying it's like since we started doing this podcast, it's been like therapeutic, hasn't it?
Yeah,
for us. Like,
I think that's why a lot of people have started podcasts recently as well because they want to talk about stuff.
Yeah, I think every week just having a vent on some things that have like pissed you off or annoyed you, or then getting it, actually verbalising it and getting it off your chest, or then talking about some cool shit that's happened, some random shit that you've been researching or looking at and stuff. Because obviously,
but it hasn't been personal. It's not like we come in here and like tell everyone how beast we are. Like it's not like we're trying to gloat or anything. We're like trying to normalise situations that should be normalised, and people aren't really talking. Like the whole point of making a podcast, we thought, was like to bring something that no one else is really doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing as what we'd usually do as an entrepreneur or as like a business person. Like you're trying to bring something to the table that no one else is bringing to the table, which for us was normalising life, like normalising situations that no one else really does. Making social situations a lot easier for people. Like we went off the embarrassing stories part. And I can't remember. Like we need to tell an embarrassing story every so often.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Can you think of it?
Did we ever do poo embarrassing stories? I don't think we did. Did we?
You told me about that, but I don't think it was told on it.
Didn't tell them on the podcast.
Someone told me at the start. One of my cousins, one of my cousins texted me. He had a poo story. He was like, how can you put a poo story on the podcast?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. If it's a good poo story, then I'll put it on the podcast."
Yeah.
But I can't remember. I think he might have sent me a voice note.
No. Well,
what's your poo story?
My poo story. Mine goes back to when I was maybe. How old are you when you have a paper round? Is it like 13, 14?
I didn't have a paper round.
I think it was like early.
Probably 12, 13, like you.
Yeah, early secondary school. And anyway, I get a little bit of an idea about what's going on now, a paper round and a poo story. But it gets better. So I had a paper round when I was younger, and I used to do it straight from when I finished school. And used to just go straight to the shop, do my paper round, and then come home afterwards, and do it on my bike. And basically, I'd gone straight from school, and I needed a shit. And I thought, I'll just get it done quick. It takes me 30 minutes, and I'll just get home. And as I was going, I used to go up the hill, do a load of papers, and then dust off some side streets on my way back down to the shop. And just on my way up the hill, it just got like really fucking bad. And then I had I thought it was safe, kind of having a fart moment. And
that's not the age you get like dodgy farts like.
I know. Well, I must have eaten some shit or something, but I didn't. It was just I needed a shit, but you know when you think I can get away
hold
with
this
it.
in, like, yeah.
Yeah, but I can get away with just a little.
Yeah,
I couldn't get away with it.
Proper short.
Yeah, proper. So I had basically it let go. Everything came out.
Everything was a good load, like.
A good load, yeah. And
did you have to finish your paper round?
Oh, I had to go back to I went back to the shop and use the shop's toilet, and my God, that was one of the worst things. But
like
that even the, I don't know about embarrassing. Like it was just, I don't even know.
Did
like,
you finish your paper round?
Yeah, I finished my paper round.
Fair play to you, like.
But I basically, this is the worst, but this is the embarrassing story bit. So I had quite loose boxers on that day. Right. And like my school trousers were not fitted, obviously, they were quite loose, so a little cheeky nugget went down my leg. Right. And it got to the bottom of like where my sock was, and I just flicked my ankle.
Where did it go?
On someone's gate.
Were they there?
No, they weren't there. This is what I mean, this is the worst bit. So there's a little cheeky nugget on someone's gate on this route that every single day I walk to school, like past this house, up this route. And it was there for about a year and a half.
What about poo?
Just stuck on the gate.
You noticed it every day?
Yeah, every single day I walked past.
Like a memorial for the shit they had.
Yeah, so literally. And then I told this story to my friends at the time, and they fucking loved it. They thought it were absolutely hilarious, and they ended up calling me. I got the nickname T1 for a little bit. So T1, so it meant track 1. From at the time we were very much into Tenacious D. Right, yeah. And they're that Pick of Destiny, the film.
Yeah. What was it called? Track 1?
Kickapoo.
Oh yeah. Kickapoo's a wonder tune.
Yeah, I know, so yeah.
What a name.
So yeah, because we loved that album so much, and we used to literally when we'd have like little parties and whatnot on a Friday, we'd always put the album on it, like, and we'd just sing every track, every single word, and
fuck her gently. That was his one.
And
I'm gonna fuck you softly.
And then the T1 came out of it because it would just Kickapoo.
That's unreal.
And
but it would be more embarrassing if there was someone there and it hit someone. That's far better. So we fucking flick on the poo and hit her in the lip or something. That would be amazing, because trying to explain that, the eye contact would be there, and she would look at you like, there's poo in my fucking lip, and you look at her like, there's poo in your lip, and there's nothing you can do about it. That would be worse.
It would be worse. It'd be a lot worse.
My most embarrassing story I've told you about the corn snake, haven't you? No, really? I was on my Instagram before. This is whenever I started telling embarrassing stories. Like before we started playing the podcast. Yeah. This is the first story I told, and everyone went.
Oh well, I will heard it. But.
So basically, I was in my apprenticeship, and I was selling my corn snake. I had a corn snake and had it up for sale because I had it for like 10 years.
Yes,
and it was like, I bought it when I was younger, like 9 or 7 or something, and I had it throughout, and like I was 18 at the time. And I was just like, fuck, I'm just not looking after it. I'd rather just give it or sell it to someone and they look after it better. So I had it up for sale, and also had my Vauxhall, had a wee Corsa, and I had that up for sale at the same time. And I was coming home from work one day, and it was like really windy that day, so I was on the phone, and got a phone call saying, hi, I'm calling about the corn snake. And I was like, yeah, how's it going? Would you like to come see it? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, I'd love to come see it. I can come at 4 o'clock today, and I was just finishing, so I was like, yeah, no sweat, come down at 4 o'clock. I was living by myself at this time. It was me and my dog, and so they came to the house, and they parked up. It was him, it was a guy and his girlfriend. They're probably the same age as me, about 20 odd. Yeah. And they came to the door, and I invited them in, and I just cleaned, so I was like, can you take off your shoes? And they were like, yeah. And they got really weird, and I was like, just clean, like, don't judge me. And then I said, come on upstairs, I'll show you. And then they followed me upstairs. Again, they were weird. And I was like, I'll show you. And then they went up to the room, to the tank where the snake was, and opened the door and showed them it. And they were like in shock looking at it, like, what? We're here for a Vauxhall Corsa. Yeah. So whenever the windy street or windy lane, I heard corn snake, but it actually said Corsa. Yeah. Very similar. Yeah. Very easily mistaken. And I looked at them like, you're not here for the corn snake, no? Yeah. Like, no, Vauxhall Corsa. I was like, oh. I sold it last week. Yeah. And they were in my house with their fucking shoes off looking at my snake. Like, what on earth is going on? Like, at what point did I think, why am I going upstairs and looking at a car? Why am I taking my shoes off to look at a car? Yeah. At what point? Like, they were following me upstairs. Like, when were they going to try to say, maybe this is not a good idea? This is the exact same situation with me and the guy buying this car, bringing me down to a wee dungeon and giving me poisoned water. They must have been having the same thoughts, but it was the most embarrassing moment of my life. Like, and then I just told them it was sold a week ago, and like I apologised. My face is like bright red, and I let them go, and I just curled up in a ball beside the door. Like, that did not just happen. It was the most embarrassing moment of my life so far, and it was horrible.
Did someone come and get the corn snake eventually?
And no one died.
Oh shit!
Woke up one day, it was like a pretzel. It was like hard as fuck.
Really?
And blue. And they were fuck. They put it in the bin.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, it escaped so many times. My snake. Like, one day I woke up and it was in my sock drawer. It like learned how to fucking open the glass at the top.
Crazy.
So I had the whole books on top because it was managing to get out. It got up on top and like sort of like moved its body so it could open the glass, and then it squeezed out. Like 3 times it got loose. Like one was actually in my bed.
Okay,
it freaked me out because like it wasn't a really big snake. It was like 5 foot maybe. It was like an albino. It was white, pink, and it was just freaky. I bit on one once, and then it sort of freaked me out after that. I didn't want to play with it or anything. Didn't want to play with my snake. But it was just cruel because all I done was feed it like once a week, and it was just like doing nothing. It lived for ages. I think it was like fucking 16 years old whenever it died. Hell. But I don't know if that's old or young for a snake, like, but it felt pretty old. I didn't kill it, by the way. It just died. It stopped eating one day, and then it just stopped eating for a week and just died. Yeah. It was like a pretzel, literally, like shaped like a pretzel. Oh, shit. Picked it up and it was like rock hard.
That's crazy. That
weird.
There you go. There it goes hard that quick.
Yeah. It goes hard. It smells really bad.
Your snake goes hard quick and good.
It's pink. It's all euphemism. Just have boner.
I was a young guy playing with my boner.
She's a 12-year-old driver.
The corn snake ad was actually a different thing.
Yeah. Both had embarrassing stories, so we'll finish up soon anyway. We're an hour there, and I'm like half an hour until I need to go. Yeah. So you have a wee cheeky munch there?
Yeah, there was some lime and lemon crisps on the side.
Oh, cheeky. Sorry, I didn't
have some in a second.
It's fine, no.
The worst host ever.
Yeah. So, it's been a fun podcast, face to face, for the first time after like 20 weeks.
20 weeks of podcast. Well, it's even been more than 20 weeks, hasn't it? Because we had a few off weeks, but it's been good. Like I say, it's almost my therapy. It's like my therapy.
Nearly half a year I've been doing it. It's mad.
What's that? 50?
It'll be 26. We'd have
Yeah. Okay. So
it would be nearly four podcasts away from half a year doing it. That's mad.
That is. It's crazy. That. Good fun though. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And hopefully...
You better clean that up whenever you've got grass holes in a good seat. Yeah, we'll finish it up. Sponsored podcast. He's wearing it. I'm not, because I'm on my holidays and wearing all nice stuff. But yeah, NL10, 10% off. Hybrid Academy. A few drops coming. I keep on saying this every week, but keep on getting delayed. So there is drops coming. We're just trying to fight with suppliers to get it done faster.
Sliders eventually, one day.
Well, it's a concept. I'm not happy with them completely. They're so comfortable. But I just want a bit more nice, like sleek.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have
premium
these
quality.
shapers just fucking unreal. Like. So comfortable. It's like walking on marshmallows.
Yeah. And they give you an extra 2 inches if you're a bit short.
Yeah. Every inch counts, doesn't it?
I know, actually constant.
And we'll finish it up there. Tune in next week for we've got a guest on next week.
Yeah. That'll be a good one next week.
We've actually re-recording it because we recorded it first time from away and
the internet was just
so bad we couldn't even edit it. So well, Adam couldn't edit because I didn't know how to. So
yeah. My plan was to show him a little bit about how to do it today, but I don't know if we're gonna have time.
Oh no! I'll just stick to making it hard for you.
Yeah, no. You can just keep coming up with the ideas, and I'll keep putting the videos together.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, tune in next week.
Bye, guys.